My homie just called me to tell me that his girl won't sleep with him, despite him paying all the bills in the crib. So he's calling me, asking me for my advice, asking me why do I think that, she won't sleep with him, despite him literally paying all the bills in the crib. And so the first thing that I say is, what else are you doing other than paying all the bills, right? Are you actually helping around the house? He got a kid, so like, are you helping with your kid? Y'all will not believe what this dude says to me. I'm wholeheartedly expecting this man to be like, no, I don't do any of that shit. I pay all the bills. Da da. That's her job, because she's a stay-at-home girlfriend, right? This man looks me in my face. We're on FaceTime. This man looks me in my face and he says, Nasha, our relationship is 70-30. Not only do I go to work every single day and I make sure all the bills are paid, but I also make sure that when I come home, the house is clean, the baby's taken care of, and she's fed because she don't cook half the time. Very 70-30. He do 70% of the work in their relationship and she does 30%. So now I'm flabbergasted because I've never actually met the girl, but it seems like you're living the sweet life, you know what I'm saying? So now I'm like trying to figure out, why isn't she sleeping with him, right? So like we got to get to the root of the problem. So I'm talking to my homie and I'm like what has been going on in your relationship lately? Like, have you cheated? Has she caught you talking to someone else? Like, something happened that made this dynamic, what it is, because y'all didn't just stop fucking out of nowhere, right? I'm trying to get to the root of the problem with my homie, right? And basically I just asked him one question, and this one question was going to determine, what I was going to say next. I was like, when's the last time you took her on a date, right? He was like, I'm not gonna hold you, Nasha. I got a lot going on between work and home and my child. I don't got time to be taking her on a date. I'm like, okay, that's understandable because you do take care of 70% of the household. But at the same time, like, if you don't have a conversation with her about the dynamic of your household, then that's never gonna change. Also, you need to have dates, in a relationship. Married or not, you need to continue going on dates. Child or no child, children or no children, you need to continue going on dates. You need to keep the romance alive, because romance is what sex thrives on. So then I asked him a second question. I was like, when's the last time you had a heart to heart with your girl, right? When's the last time that you expressed to her that you don't like the dynamic of what's going on in your relationship? That you don't like working 40 plus hours a week, then coming home and having to do dishes and having to take care of the baby, having to sometimes cook for her because she didn't cook. When's the last time you had a conversation about that? He was like, oh, I've never actually brought it up to her. I'm like, okay, so that's a problem. She probably thinks you're complacent in your position, so she hasn't said or done anything about it. But see, that still doesn't get to the root of why she won't sleep with him, right? Because for us women, it's more psychological than anything, right? So to get to the root, I asked him one more question. I said, when is the last time you actually sat down with your girl and just talked? No phones, no TVs, no sex, just talk. Just chat. Check in, Y'all, the look on this man's face told me everything I needed to know. This man looked flabbergasted. Like what? That's something that you're supposed to do? Yeah. And that's when I realized she probably feels neglected by you. Not only are you not communicating with her that the dynamic of your relationship is just not working for you anymore, maybe it worked once upon a time, but it's not working anymore, and that's not a problem. You just gotta talk to her about it. But also, you're not even checking in on her mentally, so like, how would you want her to open up for you physically? That makes no sense. So now my homie sitting here, tears in his eyes, like, damn, I didn't even realize that this was going on. I'm just so busy with life and like all this shit just been happening that I really just haven't had the chance. And I'm like, you're good. I don't blame you. But like, you have to talk to her. You know that, right? Like, you have to have a conversation. The sooner the better. So now at this point, I'm so interested in like talking to Shorty and getting her side of the story, but I don't know her, and that's just weird, and I don't want to get into it, right? So I'm talking to my homie and I'm like, look, I really need you to open up to your girl, and I'm gonna need your girl to open up to you. Y'all gonna have to have a heart to heart. Send the baby to grandma's house for the night and have a heart to heart. I promise you, this heart to heart is gonna unleash so many emotions and so many things that you didn't even know were going on, right? And then slowly, I guarantee you, if this shit goes well, your woman will open up physically to you again. All right, so boom. He sent the baby to grandma's house, right, the other night. And he did exactly just that. Tell me why. He calls me the next day. He was like, Nasha, that shit was fucking terrible. Nothing got said. There was more yelling than anything. Very much misunderstanding. I wasn't getting through to her. She wasn't getting through to me. Nothing got resolved, right? Still, no sex. So this is when I was like, okay, what are your talking techniques? How did you start off? What did you say? And y'all, the shit that he told me, I see why the fuck you not getting no cheeks, my nigga. Like, you suck. You actually suck at communicating. His name's Byron. Byron is a great man. I'm not gonna hold you. Like I said, he works 40 plus hours. He comes home to his lady. He cooks for her, takes care of the baby. You know what I'm saying? But you suck when it comes to communication. And this is why your women don't want to fuck you. Luckily for him, right? Byron's mom and my mom have been knowing each other since before we were born. So obviously my mom is very fond of Byron. So I call my mom and I put Byron on the three-way, right? I'm like, Mom, Byron is going through some shit. I'm not going to get into details, but he needs all the help he can get. I'm telling you. So my mom's a teacher. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but my mom's a teacher. So she knows a lot about a lot. First thing she says, oh, Byron, you're cooked. Like, basically, she said, Byron, you're cooked. You don't know how to talk to your lady don't know how to talk to you. So you got two options, right? Number one, you're going to spend $1,000 on couples therapy, and it may or may not work because therapists don't actually teach you how to talk. They just teach you how to cope. And you don't need to learn how to cope, you need to learn how to talk, right? And option number two, the least costly option, right? And you're gonna do this. You could do this in the comfort of your own home. You could do it alone, or you can do it with your lady. So Byron was like, okay, obviously option number two, because I'm not trying to spend $1,000 on a therapist. It's not gonna help me get to the root of the problem, right? So my mom was like, all right, here's what you're gonna do. Boom. She sends a link to Byron's phone. She said, check your phone, right? Byron's on his phone. He checking it. He's like, oh, I got a link. My mom's like, open the link. Boom. Byron opens the link. She actually sent him a link to an app that she uses in her school to teach her students about communication and shit like that. So Byron opens it. It's an app called Gleam, Gleam. So basically it's like a Duolingo, but for communication. My mom goes, this is what you and your girl are going to do until you feel like you're ready to actually talk to each other and not that bullshit that y'all been on, right? So Byron, like, he respects my mom very, very much so. So he does that for about a week, right? He does it by himself. He doesn't tell his lady about it. He doesn't ask her to do anything. He wants to do it all by himself first. Then he calls me like a week later and he's like, hey, I think I'm ready to sit down and have another conversation, but my mom can't keep the baby. Can you keep the baby? I don't really fuck with kids like that. I'm not gonna hold you. But I want to see my son Byron win, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yeah, I'll keep the baby for a few hours. Do what you gotta do. Right? So boom. I kept the baby. They came pick the baby up 7 a.m. the next day. He pulls up with Shorty. They look happy as fuck. I'm like, what happened? Yo. Byron calls me like that very afternoon just to tell me like everything that went down, everything that they talked about. He told me like his relationship literally did a 180 just based off one conversation that he had with his shorty that night. And it's just so crazy to me how all you really need to do sometimes is just talk to your person. Like, you don't got to get defensive. You don't got to start yelling, arguing, fighting, because a simple conversation can fix a lot of things. So I'm like, yo, I'm really happy for you. But, you know, did you get in them cheeks? Because I know that's what you really wanted. He was like, Nasha, it's not even about that no more. Like, we planning dates now. Like, I feel like we're 17 again. I'm like, that's honestly fantastic. I'm really happy for you. And then he says to me something that I never thought my boy Byron would ever say to me. He was like, Nasha, at first, I just want to clap them cheeks again. But now, I just want to take my lady out on a date. Like, as if it was our first date all over again. Boy, I damn near shed a tear. But I'm saying all this to say, y'all don't need to break up. Y'all just need to communicate. If the dynamic's off, just fucking talk and fix it. That's it.